G'day, I'm BLXZ and welcome back to Nemoria. So I have done a little bit of work off camera, not a huge amount, but basically just a bit of tidying up. Got rid of most of the dirt clumps and cleaned up the stuff down here and set these stockpiles up. I have a coal stockpile, I have, I've cancelled the jobs by mistake, but I've got a coal stockpile, a nugget stockpile, or whatever. I have a metal bar stockpile, so I hope to have the smelters here basically feeding through that way. And then I have slivers and worn weapons and armour from the goblin raids, which can't be used directly. I need to smelt them down into metal bars that can then be reforged. I'm in the process now of replacing these black basalt pillars with marble ones, because I think the highlight of white on black will look better. And I have finished my little bridge over here, and you can see what the marble pillars look like with some skulls in between. I hope to eventually build a road, a proper road going to the edges of the map for no particular reason at all. In other news, our food stockpiles are going brilliantly and everything is looking nice. So we are ready now to start our construction. So we're going to go metal. To begin with, we're going to want a smelter, at least one smelter, and that's going to be, we'll put one smelter there at least. Next up, we're going to have a furnace to create the coal, because coal can be mined, but if we can create it from logs, even better. And I'll be putting that at the entrance here, so they can get to the log stockpile here, and then over and deposit the coal there reasonably quickly. I may move it close from the end, have a little log stockpile here, when I eventually decommission this. And finally, we're going to want a forge. Melt. Oh, hang on, what's a smelter there? Ah, I see, I made a mistake there. Excellent, good thing we noticed that now. So where is it? The forge will turn the ore into metal bars. So I've gone ahead and pre-built all the bellows and everything I'm going to need for these first 3 workshops. So that here is going to melt these bars into iron, and then I'm going to build another one, a smelter, melt various items into bars, and the smelter is going to be over here, and it's going to melt these into bars as needed. It won't be active all the time. I hope to keep this one reasonably active. So let's get started on building those. For those who may or may not have noticed, I have renamed granite blocks into basalt blocks. They are completely different rocks, and considering I studied geology at a university level for a number of years, I should know the difference. So I have renamed that. They are totally different. And copper bars, I have a tracker set up. So we'll see how that goes once we get this all working. Now for this one here, we may as well start cutting into a particular source so I can use the others for construction of different colours and whatnot. But I'm going to cut into probably my apple wood, because I'm not going to be using my, actually no, I'm going to keep the apple wood. I'm going to cut into my pine for the time being. I really don't like pine. It's the most boring wood type out there. So you're going to craft coal to, let's say, to about, give me a second while I think about this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can have, say, crates on 3 of those, say to 90. Craft to 90 at any given time. And that's a lot of coal. But once I've got crates set up here, it'll just be 3 rows filled up. And if I mine up more, I can stockpile a little bit extra in. But I'd like to always be crafting a good supply of coal. Actually, I'm going to bring that down. Oh, I didn't even craft anything, that's good. You're going to craft to, let's go to 20 to begin with. I don't want to spend all my gnomes' free time on coal making. So I am going to take that off them for a while. What we are going to do though, is create bars of metal. So bars from metal slivers, which we do not have anywhere near enough for. So what you're going to be doing is creating copper bars. You are going to craft that on repeat forever. If there is ore available, you're going to create a copper bar. And that's what we're going to do for the time being. Actually, what I should be doing is finding a person who is going to be my best, what's the word, metalsmith. Now I think I have a couple of good people who've come through a few times. They're going to be pioneers who will have it showing up. So these things here will only show what jobs, will only show their skills if they're currently doing that job. Metalworking of 15. What I'm going to do temporarily is give provisioners the metal jobs as well, so I can have a look at them. Where are we? Smelting of 6, blacksmithing, metalworking, armor crafting. I'd like to pick at least 2 people if possible. Looks like no one is very good. You're a decent person, although you're rubbish at armor crafting. You can do a bit of metalworking. You are not very good either. Okay, well it looks like it's going to have to be our pioneers. So I'll take metal off provisioner. I'm going to pick... Actually I wonder if I could do our mine. No, they're going to be busy doing other stuff, blocks and whatnot, and mining. I want to have dedicated people, so I'm going to pick someone generic. Okay, our new provision is going to be called Metalsmith. Now, for the time being, a metalsmith is going to do everything metal involved. Later on I will begin to have a dedicated weapon crafter and a dedicated armor crafter, or possibly one person doing both, so they can really max up that skill as much as possible. But for now, that's what they're going to do. Now, in their off time, they're going to be builders as well, but I don't expect them to have a huge amount of off time because their workshop work will always come first. And the people going to be doing that are going to be not a fighter. It's going to be a metalsmith. And actually, yeah, these people are... Some of them are in the military. So why not I take Wazena out? She is probably not a fighter. Dutrazel is... Actually go Ver. Ver, you can be a metalsmith as well. Yeah, you're not a bad choice. You can do a bit of armor crafting later maybe. Okay, so let's get them going. So there we go, we've got all the stuff working. I would like to get... What are they going to smelt? They're going to smelt... Can they auto smelt? Yeah, auto smelt worn items. And I would like that to be the number one task you do. So if there's something available, smash it out, get rid of it. Doesn't seem to have created the job just yet. Yeah, there we go. Now, how much do we get? I actually don't know. I'm not sure what we get. Oh, okay. A dirt golem appears to have spawned in the water. I wonder if they can drown. Or if that dirt golem is just going to forever be a pain in our asses. Don't know. We'll find out. Ah, I see. It makes copper slivers, so that's a bit of a pain. So what it's going to be doing is turning these worn items into a number of slivers. So you're not going to create that much wealth. Which in that case I will at any given time, if you have enough metal slivers of any sort, you're going to craft them first before you move on to ore. Doesn't matter what they are. Any kind of sliver that we get to 10 of. Oh, that bear's getting a little bit close. Okay, so we're going to need the storage to be built up as well. Let's build 3 there. Let's get another 3 there. And get 3 there. And that'll be enough to keep me going for quite some time. Now I'm going to keep playing and just do the old speed up trick. So you guys continue watching what I'm doing because there is not a whole lot that's going to happen here in the immediate future. So let's see how we go. Okay then, welcome back everybody. It appears we have ourselves a goblin fighter who is reasonably armoured. And I no doubt there will be more of them coming in. Yep, there we go. There's another one, a goblin raider. Now they may be, I don't know why they're just sort of hanging around out there. They might be beginning to set up a like a tunnelling in thing, or I'm not really sure what they're going to do yet. But I have got my military guys. Okay, they've spotted it. Actually, while I'm here, I might actually send them all out to just rip the guy apart. Yep, they're all coming in, but we've already got one of them down. So what I can do now is get the squads to launch in and rip this guy apart as well. And looks like we killed them all quite quickly there. That was actually surprisingly easy. So no real challenge. the fact that I've been building up my kingdom worth so very, very slowly. Admittedly, all these constructions have considerable worth, but I've been managing keeping most of my stocks and everything quite low, and I haven't really gone into metal yet. I've only just begun foraying in, and it's already 1.5 years into the game. So that's sort of made a considerable effect in the fact that my what's the word, kingdom, because the kingdom worth is not growing very quickly, I have not had huge numbers of strong goblins coming at me yet. So it's given me really enough time to build up a significantly skilled military. Having them well equipped in you might be able to get bronze or iron armor quite quickly sometimes. But oh, there's a bear. I don't know if I want to fight a bear though. Okay, looks like I've got no choice. They're all going after it. So, let's see what happens. Who are you? The Provisioner Dual Trazzle. You may well die here. Let's have a look at you. How stupid were you? Oh, you're in good health. You've killed a lot of golems, a lot of goblins and a golem. You are... Hey, look at that. Mad skills, bruh. Pretty good. Except for... Who is that? Gimbello. Bleeding from the lower body. Not too bad, though. Your skills are pretty good as well. He's got an unlucky hit. There we go. The bear has died, and it appears that no one else has died just yet. Now, if they can make it to the bandages... And it looks like everyone has survived. That is a absolute success story. In the meantime, I have been building a blacksmith. I've queued everything up, and they've just taken their time to get around to it, because they've been building all the other things. Well, I have run pretty low in basalt blocks. We've got here the ability now to start making salt. It's interesting. We've got now the ability to start making tools. So we can make an alarm bell, we can make a ball peen hammer, and things like that, which are vital for some of our other workshops. What I'm also going to try and do is get a mechanism, there we go, a tinker bench. That requires a wrench, a chair and a workbench. Can I build a wrench from here? No, I know what I need. I need another engineering thing. So a machine shop, I believe, will make a wrench. So I need a workshop and a cutting wheel. Where am I going to do this? I'd like to keep this for solely metal and armor and stuff crafting, and possibly even put the military in their own little barracks up the top here. That's how I'm thinking that's going to go. I was thinking about having this particular turret over here become a wooden one, which may well leave this one over here. Now currently it's currently a hospital and it's still under construction, but I could begin putting my tinker benches over there and engineering stuff. Alternatively, I could try and keep all metal centralized in this one area, and that is probably what I'm going to do to begin with. I can always relocate it later once I've got other things built. So we're going to require a machine shop, which is a workbench. I still have a chair, and I'll need a cutting wheel. Okay, let's put that over there for now. I require a workbench. We've got a workbench. A workbench and a cutting wheel. Does a cutting wheel get made? Oh, okay. A saw blade is different to a cutting wheel. It might be more difficult than I originally thought. Where do you make a cutting wheel? There we go, a cutting wheel requires just a single bar. So as usual, I'm going to be putting these other things at a higher priority. I'm also going to, anytime you have a sliver, you're going to do that forever. And anytime you have a bar, I'm going to be doing copper ore, I'm going to do that forever. I believe that's what I'm doing. Yes. But this is a higher priority, and this one here was a higher priority as well. Okay, so we got ourselves a cutting wheel shortly. I'm also going to build a mechanism. Engineer shop requires a wrench as well. Okay, I won't bother up with that. So I believe we can use this to create the wrenches we need, and that Looks like that dude down here is still alive, so he's not going to drown. That's interesting. I may begin to accumulate golems down here until I can get some ranged weapons and shoot down at him. I'll have to figure out how I get that done later. Possibly we are... There we go. We're building it now. Building our workbench. Or are we? No, we might be building crates. In which case I would like you to... No, they should be building those, the workbench. I'm sure they'll get onto it. Having a little bit of a bottleneck at the moment in my plank production, which will need to get fixed up shortly, which is why I was saving this turret over here for wood production. I'd like to really get into that in the next couple of episodes. Once I've got my metal industry set up and sustainable, first of all, I really want to work on getting these 5 guys full armor all over them so that they're not going to die. So they will lose their Way of the Gnome perk, but their unarmed fighting should still be pretty decent. And with the armor on, they can begin building that up and become a lot more survivable. And of course I'll get weapons onto the rest of them as well. I will probably do tower shields for at least 2 or 3 of them, but I'll go into the military stuff later. I like having a good defensive force rather than a necessarily purely offensive one. That should be our workbench. There we go. With our workbench we have our cutting blade. Now we just need a gnome to get their act together and start building. Failing that, I'm just going to keep speeding things up and I'll be back if I make any more progress. Actually, you know what? Look at the time. I think I'm going to call this episode here. This has been a good solid amount of time. I don't want to have episodes run too long. So I've been BLXZ. This has been Gnomoria. Make sure to join me back next time as we continue building up the metal industry. We'll see what happens then. Take care.